Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Deal Done Serbia 2025, the very first edition of an event built with a vision, precision, and deep respect for the football business community. It is a true honor to stand before you today and open what we believe will become a landmark gathering for professionals who shape the game behind the scenes. We are proud to host you here in Serbia, a country with a rich football heritage, passionate supporters, and a growing ecosystem of clubs, agents, analysts, and decision makers. But today, Serbia is not just a host. It is a meeting point of Europe, Africa, Asia, and beyond. Deal Done Serbia is not just a conference. It is a platform. A space where expertise meets urgency, where strategy meets reality, and where relationships are built for the long term. We are especially proud of the diversity of our speaker lineup, from seasoned sporting directors to legal experts, data scientists, and investments strategists. Each of them bring unique lens to the transfer market, and we encourage you to engage, ask questions, and make the most of every session. So let's begin. Let's open the first chapter of Deal Done Serbia. Let's listen, learn, and lead. My name is Nina Živković. I'm a TV presenter and interviewer on Arena Sport Television and Newsmax Balkans, and I'm going to be your moderator for these 2 days. Let's start with Deal Done 2025. Our first speaker today is someone who understands the strategic complexity of winter squad planning better than most. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Aram Zadoyan, who will speak on strategic leadership in winter squad planning. Aram Zadoyan understands the winter window better than most, the pressure, the timing, the squad dynamic. Today he's opened the tactical playbook of how leadership drives results when the clock is ticking. Mr. Zadoyan, please join me here on the stage.
Good morning. Lovely to be here, lovely to open the stage. As far as we have just only 20 minutes, let's start. Feel free to ask any questions after the presentation, so we can go. Let me introduce myself shortly. So actually I have the scouting background. Started when I was 19, thank you. When I was 19, now I'm 27. I was very lucky to have the opportunity to work on such a big club in Russia, as CSKA Moscow is, well known for the scouting, for the good transfers, and generally by the history of Russian football. Then I got the opportunity to join Aram Football Club, which was on the second Russian division as a sporting director. Then we got a promotion to Premier League, and after 3.5 years working of the club, I left the club. So now I'm kind of in between of the projects, looking for the next project. So which button should I press? Okay, I see. Okay. So I would like to start with kind of my rules as a sporting director, how I work. So the first one is scouting must align with the club philosophy and the playing style. You should understand all the criteria for the positions that you are looking for. You should find and work on the most important markets from your club. So in my case, working for Aram was one of the main market was Balkan region, was South American, was African market. So we were working mostly on these kind of markets. We, Aram was very known for the data-driven club. We were trying to combine data and live observations and for the Y-Scout and all the platforms. For the sporting director, it's very important to work with the coach day by day, with his ups and downs, to understand what is the coach consists of on the bad days, on the good days, with the winnings and losses. That's how you can understand what coach wants from the players, from the group, from the tactical point of view. And for sure, during the transfer window, there are a lot of agents who are trying to propose you players. But to be an efficient football club, you have to have a good balance between your own scouting and the proposal from the agents, because like your own scouting is like kind of your basis, but to have the information from the agent sometimes is very important, because your scouts probably don't know the contractual information, the information from the club. So it's very important to combine. So speaking about the winter transfer window and the differences, the main difference is that working on the summer transfer window, you need to build the core of your team, because the summer transfer window is the big market and is beginning of the season most of the time. So what I always do is try to sign the core players. The goalkeeper, the central backs, the defensive midfielder, number 8, the striker is kind of the core that helps you to have the stability during the season. Because like in Russia, we have the season from summer to summer. So if you don't have this kind of core till winter, let's say, you don't have the stability on your performance. Then winter transfer window, for me, was always the market to have some small some small signings, maybe like a not key player, like a winger, like a second option for the position, or to create something that we didn't do on the summer transfer window. Okay, so working on the winter transfer window is helpful for you, because you can base on your analysis from the first part of the season. Okay, so from summer to winter, you have like 15 matches played. So you see how your new signings are performing, how the team is performing, how the coach is doing. So it's very important to have this kind of analysis and this kind of information. As I told you, Akron was based on data as well. We were trying to be really, really balanced, because we were using data as a filter, first filter, like on a big data information, and as a compass to show us which way should we go. As a sporting director, you have to be smart to help your scouting department with the data, to have the data information, to data analyst in your team. For sure, by the data, you can follow all the trends of the leagues, of the concrete players. It helps you like to stabilize all the information that you have and make it more easy. And for sure, minimize your risk. I'm always telling that you are always gambling. If you are buying a player for 1 million or for 10 million, is a gamble. But at the same time, you can minimize your risk with all the tools that you can have in your club. So how I do, like how I plan my transfer window. So generally, you have to have your plan at least for 3 transfer windows, like for summer, winter, and next summer. For sure, like big clubs are trying to have the strategic way of working, like for 2 years and everything. But we are working on the sphere which is always changing. You know, like the one player has injury, another player has the option to go, the offer to go. So you have to replace him. So for sure, you have to have the plan. You have to know your exact budget. You have to be very close with your board to understand which exact budget you have to work, because otherwise you are like, you find 3 players for 1.5, 2, 3 million, for example, but the board is saying like you can only spend like 700 for the player. So it doesn't make sense, like your work in this way. Prepare the list right after the ending of the transfer window. So I always telling my scouts that we need to work like 24 hours, because you never know how it's going, and you have to have as much suitable names on your list as possible. Why? For example, we have our long list with the 7 players on one position. And I'm starting as a sporting director to ask the agent, the club, if the player is open to go. Then, for example, the player doesn't want to change the situation. He prolonged the contract. He had an injury. So, and then you are looking for your list, and from the 7 players, you just only have 2 players. And most of all time, it's not the first 2 options. It's like the last 2 options that you have. So as much suitable names on your list as possible is very important to have the ability to choose from someone. And also you need to react quickly during the transfer window. What I mean is constantly changing the situation. Changing the situation with the coach, with your board, with the transfer window, with the market. As I always said, you cannot control the market. The market controls you. So you have to be very flexible by your mind to react quick on the situation. So the key leaderships, from my point of view, always to take the responsibility. It's my own decisions as a sporting director. I'm responsible for it, not the coach. For the transfer window, for example, in all my clubs, the vertical system was like this. The coach is responsible for the playing style, the tactical, everything like this. But for the transfers, it's the club who is responsible for it. For sure, we try always to involve the coach on the process to see if he likes the player or he doesn't like the player, how the player can fit the scheme, the tactical side. But at the same time, the club is the system who is investing the money on the player at the end, because the coach's average, life, the coach in the club is 8 months, the average. So we cannot make our transfers just only because of the coach. It's very important to keep updated the coach during the transfer window and keep updating your board to understand what is going on. How do you work for their calmness, for their calm, to be them calm, and for you to be calm. Because if you are not explaining the process or not involving the coach, everyone starts to be nervous. So you have to involve your key colleagues in this process. Be fast and smart with your decisions. I'm always joking with my scouts. Then for example, we got a player and we have some doubts on the player. And if this player got another offer, our doubts are just gone, because he got the offer from other clubs. So you have to be very quick during the transfer window to have the right decisions. And also be flexible with the situation, because as I told you, it's always changing the situation. You have to be flexible. Also, during my time working, I was always trying to have some key rules, what can help me on the transfer period, because it's very difficult, nervous period for everyone in the club. As I told you, you need to know the exact budget that you have. You need to use the history of your club. Working in a big club is kind of easier. Working in a smart club, you are trying to build your own history, to show this history to the potential new players. Also, it's very important to make a video presentation for the new players, especially if it's like a not big club, about the city, about the facilities, the training ground, what you have in your club. Is very easy to the players to check and to evaluate the opportunity. And also to involve your head coach on the final stage of the negotiations. I'm always doing this. Then I see that the player is having kind of doubts to go or not to go. I put the coach on the line, on the video calls, to explain the tactic, how he sees the player on the tactic, if the player will play a key role in the squad. So it's very important for the players to understand their exact role in your team. That's for sure. The future of the team starts with the decisions that we make today. So always you have to be brave to make decisions. If only like it could be a bad decision in terms of the philosophical side. What I mean is like sometimes you need to terminate the contract, sometimes you need to terminate the coach, to fire the coach, but these decisions should be evaluated in terms of the future, if it makes your club better. Thank you.
Aram, thank you for setting the tone for today. Does anyone from the audience wants to ask something, Mr. Aram? May I ask something? I would like to ask you, how do you deal between the head coach and also with the head coach and the president, which is during the winter transfer window, if they are not combined together? How do you align all that agreement?
So usually sporting director is kind of a bridge between the board, the president, and the coach. So I'm the person who knows two languages, let's say, like the sporting language with the head coach and with the president. So I'm kind of the connecting link between them, and I'm always trying to be, you know, like I can sit with the coach and said like, why you are doing like this? Or other time I can say, you are doing the right things, everything is good, I'm supporting you. And then I can explain to the president the process, what coach is doing, why he's struggling, and everything like this. So I'm trying to put everyone on the same wave.
Nice, thank you very much. Is there any comments or something that someone of you would like to ask or add? No? Okay, so thank you very much once again, Mr. Zadoyan.